Good morning, everyone. Welcome today to our public meeting. My name is Juliana, and I'm part of the Spiritism group since 2010 when I moved to Dublin. 2011, actually, yeah, 2011. And I'm here today to talk about being a spiritist. Now, thank you for being here today in this nice, warm weather for September, which is unusual. But yeah, let's gonna enjoy today. And let's gonna start. Before starting, I would like to do the initial prayer. So if you want to sit comfortably, deep breath, close your eyes, connect with the spiritual world, to the higher spirits. I'd like to thank God, the good spirits, the mentors of this group, to be here today. I'd like to ask permission for the speech today. May your words be spoken here. Thank you, everyone, for coming. May you be able to enjoy the week, the day, the little things that we get every day, the little blessings. So be it. Okay, so let's get started. Today I'm going to talk about being spiritist. It's not something like what you should or not should do. That's not. It's just how we deal with things in our daily lives as a spiritist. It's more a guidance than telling you do this, you do that. That's not my intention there. But anyway, so what is being spiritist? I'm just gonna turn here because this it's much. Now let me get him bigger here. Oh yes. It is us that identify and accept the explanation given by the spirits, the spiritist doctrine about the laws that reign our lives and the universe. And those laws we call God's law or nature laws, because our laws that reign, govern our lives, the universe, everything, and those laws are in place to maintain the harmony, and scientists, when they study the cosmos and the way, they usually say about, the chaos of the cosmos. But when they study a little bit deeper, and nowadays they realize this chaos, it's very organized and very harmonic. If something's happened here, it's gonna get consequences that's gonna transform something else there. That's how when you study, the cosmos and this is not just for the universe out there. It's in our life, our small lives, and even, when we go deeper down on studying the like how our body function, the cells, and even much more microscopic than that. It's very harmonic, and if something isn't distressed, it's affect the others, but we always maintain the harmony. Other things will happen to maintain the harmony. So this is more or less God's law. God's law, I know we have been taught, so God's law is this: don't do, don't kill, don't fit, which was really, really important for that time, because we didn't have much understanding of, for example, science. Nowadays, to understand God's law or nature law, we need to evolve from that idea, simple, 10 commandments. It's much more complex than the 10 commandments, but I'm not saying that is different. It's not, it's the same thing. It's just that we now understand more complexity than the way before. So just want to explain a little bit about God's law and how in Spiritism, we actually see in this way, in a way to maintain the harmony and for everything, for the flow to go, for everything works and self-maintain. It's really self-maintaining laws. Anyway, back to the. So, what would be the true spiritist when we talk about being spiritist? We're talking about being spiritist. How we, what guidances are there? How do we do that? It's really simple. It's not something you have to perform some rituals, behave in certain social ways, have some certain grammar use. That's not what it's been true spiritist is. Although it happens because we are human beings. We like to connect with our peers, to stay in a group, and then behave in the same way. So this happens naturally. This is instinctively our uh, way of living with others. It's not something. I'm not saying that's something bad, but it's not necessary because at the moment we live now, we are more evolved, or not evolved, but more developed. You know, we always, we always developing, always going forward. So when we talk about the true spiritist, we talk about, the man, and sorry, I should have some to person, but I didn't want to change much the grammar. The man who works hard, so the person, everyone who works hard for their own improvement and ensures happiness for their lives, because we reincarnate many times. But yeah, work hard is something, In addition to the satisfaction of his conscience, he exempts himself from the misery, material and moral, which are the inevitable consequences of our imperfections. So we work hard for a happier life, but what that means, happier life is not like the economic system we live in tells us, work hard, get money, and buy lots of stuff. No, we're not. This is the material world. We're talking here a little bit more deeper, a little bit more uh, spiritual. It's our, improvement, how we improve ourselves, how we get this happiness. Everyone know we don't get by buying things. This is just, marketing and all the advertise that, makes us see that they are happy there because they're buying that. That's not happiness. We know happiness is free conscience. It's when you have done your best, that you are able to tackle selfishness from your own acts. This brings you peace of mind. This is happiness. I know it's not like I'm not asking anyone to be, totally zen and no material things doesn't influentiate me. No things no. We are on the path to go there, but we are not there yet. It's still a little bit. And why we work hard is because we want to get to the perfect spirit. We are not perfect yet. We have our own imperfections. We have acts of selfishness. That's the root of every evil thing. And sometimes a small one, sometimes a big one. So we need to work those imperfections. That's why we reincarnate on Earth. That's why we choose what trials we're gonna get in this life, so we will be better, for our own transformation, for our own development. I come to the next one. So the true spiritists can be recognized by the moral transformation and efforts they employ in order to dominate their body instincts. And when we say body instincts, we say here acts of selfishness, and it's small. And I say selfishness because that's the root of every evil thing we encounter here on earth. For example, very simple one, very general one. The act of killing is a selfish act, because you do that thinking, um, you know, so it could be because you planned that, but most of the time the killing, it's a consequence, it's an accident or anything. But you act in selfishness. You believe that, for example, that person was a threat to you, and then you kill them. But of course, I'm not saying we do that because only few people killed nowadays. But it's just a very general one. You know, we have we all act selfishness, and it's an instinct. It's our original sin. We act as in a selfish way, and that's why when we do that, we kind of, they said sinning or anything, but it's just that acting selfishness in a selfish way. And when I say selfish way, it's not just, when I think about myself, thinking about myself affects the other, and whenever we think everything I do, every small thing I do, if I have a way, if I can get and think what consequences has for the next to me, when I start, thinking that, I start to get my more, to care a little bit more, and it's a start, for self transformation. You're gonna tackle that selfishness in you. So that's why, the true spirits can be recognized by their moral transformation and afford the employee in order to dominate their acts of selfishness. And it's not something you brag about. It's not something you tell everyone. This doesn't work like that. You can tell everyone you can do that, but being a spiritist, we know this is not the way. You do on your own way. It's between you and God, no one else. So you don't need to be bragging. We don't need to be bragging about what you do or you don't do. This doesn't work that way. It's all really true, because when we brag about, it's kind of we are lying to ourselves, and that doesn't work. When we lie to ourselves, we're not developing. We're not, working for moral transformation. We're not. We're still acting selfish. So it's the moral transformation efforts we employ in order to dominate our acts of selfishness. While one is content with a limited horizon, the other understands better things exist, makes every effort to liberate himself, and always manage to do this when their desire is strong and true. So when one it's content with a limited horizon, lying to ourselves, the other who understands better, always manage to do this when the desire is strong and true. So we need to keep true to ourselves. We need to keep the strong desire to actually, being always a better version of ourselves, to always improve. That is your part for moral transformation. And when we say moral, again, this is not like religious way, sin, guilty, things like this. No, it's you tackling your acts of selfishness. That's it. Simple as that. But it's not simple, because we have to identify, and it can be something small, it can be something big, it can be something bigger. And it's a process that we're going to spend our entire life for this reincarnation and maybe next ones. We give small steps because we go all on our own way. So just wrapping up this, the work hard moral transformation. So work hard. the need for study, immersion, knowledge, practice of the true charity. And when we practice the true charity, sorry about my pronunciation, we talking about when you help someone or something, with a true heart, and you don't brag about it. You don't do this because you have to, because you're spiritist, I have to do charity. No, no. You do this from your heart. And it doesn't need to be volunteering for a charity. It can be on our daily life. Sometimes listening to someone who it's, talking a little bit depressive, being on their side, not judging. We know this month, September, is the month for suicide awareness, and suicide, as we know in Spiritism, is gonna be the next, it's going to be, it's gonna increase a lot more, So even if you think, oh, this is drama, it's just bragging and things like this, no, just listen. It's good. This is a true charity. Even if you think that it's drama, just listen and try to help. No judgment. Because we don't know what's the shoes that that person. We are not in their shoes. We don't know how heavy are their shoes. And we are all different. And it's different. You may think that's not, but it is. So, uh, so work hard is this. It's always tackling your selfishness. So, how do you do that? Study, your immersion, knowledge. Study, for example, if you're spiritualist, study. Allan Kardec. Get to read. Give your time to ask yourself to that reasoning, when you read, don't take the words for granted. Read it and ask yourself, is this like this because of that? What this doesn't mean. Try to go deeper than just reading and repeating lines. And this goes for every religion you are in. Try to be reasonable. you know we are humans, and we, with blind faith, blind when you say you don't contest, you don't ask, but it's really like this, but why it's telling like this. Blind faith leads you to fanaticism, and fanaticism leads to terrible things. If you see the big wars we had in this world, they were all based in religions, in religions' beliefs. So, because fanaticism, and no matter which religion you are, fanaticism leads you to be blind, and you just follow. You don't think. You need to think. You need to be reasonable, and that's the work hard. Study, but study with reason. Reasoning. You know, and then the moral transformation is that once you get knowledge, and it's constant. Again, it's gonna be a process that's gonna be for our entire lives, and next life, maybe previous life we didn't even care about it, we didn't even know, but this life, if we are here, if we had contact with this knowledge, it's our duty to do. It's our duty to work hard in this way. And it's only us. It depends on me, myself, again, building a better version of myself. So, and moral transformation, the change within our scope, our within our change from within to outside, improve ourselves, evolve spiritually. Sorry, just doing this because I think I just gonna see. I'm seeing for the first time the comments, because before I wasn't able to see. So just wrapping up, study, practice through internal transformation. That is, and it's something that only you can do it. No one else can do it for you. We only can do it. And again, it's just between myself and God, between you and God, you know. And I'm just gonna read some comments here. Give good morning because I didn't give good morning to everyone. Sorry. So Emon, thank you for coming. Kaka, thank you. Patrocinio, Barbara, Neide, thank you very much for coming. If you have any comments now, I can read the comments. I'll just keep coming here. So just gonna go back a little bit now. So then let's gonna understand more being spiritists, you know, why we are spiritists, you know. So being spiritist, we understand spiritism as a spiritualist philosophy, non-dogmatic, that promotes the free thinking, non-judgmental. So it's very important, non-judgmental. And we are human beings, we do judge. We judge as soon as we see someone, you know. So that's not something we cannot expect to be totally perfect. That's non-judgment all the time because we're not. This is a human being. This is our instinct. Being human, we judge. But what we can do, we can think on that. Why I'm judging for his appearance. So it looks like this, looks like that. Or I'm judging this, you know. But, or judging for what they said. But we don't know where they come from. Again, what shoes are they wearing? How heavy it is. So that's why we're not. We have to tackle, again, it's tackling selfishness because when we judge, we're being selfish. We're being like, oh, I'm better than you, you know, this is selfishness. So tackling this, we recognize and then say, yeah, no, I should not be doing that. That means doesn't gonna happen again. It will happen. But the thing is, you know, we keep watching, you know, we keep no, not on alert or, you know, stressed by that, but, you know, we when we are able to recognize that we're being judgmental, say, oh, sorry, I'm being judgmental to you, you know, say sorry, or, you know, recognize. And this is a very good step, you know, for being spirituous. You know, everyone has your own things, everyone has your own shoes, your own life and previous life, because we don't remember. But, you know, I have lots of things, you know, done that in my previous life that influenced this, and I don't know. So how can I judge someone that, you know, came in a different path with other things that they actually don't know why they're behaving in this way, because we don't remember. We just keep, you know, our feelings, our passions, it just come with us. You know, our ways, our behavior comes with us. We just don't remember what happens. We don't have the history, you know, like the dates and the history was erased, but the feelings stayed. So how can I judge someone if even me, myself, I don't know why I behave this sometimes, you know, that could happen, be, you know, because of past lives. So that's another reason, not judgmental. You know, we recognize that we do, but then we work on and we work on and we 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 work on to be less judgmental, you know. The other things, recognize that we are different, you know, in different stages of moral evolution, diversity. We are already, you know, physically different, you know, backgrounds, ethnicity, language, you know, we are different. If you see in the world how different we are. So our genetics in the way we look like is different. Imagine when you go deeper in our souls, when we know that we have been, you know, in many reincarnations, you know, we lived a lot of lives, you know. sometimes as a man, a male or female, so we are diverse. There is no this, and again, it comes to our own instincts to be on our peers, on our group, and be the same. It comes from our instinct of survival, that if you are in the same group, we are safer, but that's not true. And being spirituous, we have to deal with the diversity, because the diversity makes us progress, makes our moral development, makes us develop morally, progress, again, being a better version of ourselves when we, accept diversity. The other things, we are, spirituous because we recognize ourselves as individual beings, but we are not individualists. We us. Now we are individual beings because we are unique. There is no other version of ourselves, of yourself, unless if you believe on parallel universe. That's it's you know, but we know we are unique in this entire universe. Um, it's only you, and because your path, it's it, it's very diverse. So that's why, uh, when you that you try to tackle judgmental, that there's diversity, and that you are unique, but we still live together. We have to get all this together, get our things that we like, we don't like together. This is being spirituous, because we believe, although we are unique, we are also part of a community, a society, a country, the world, planet Earth. Our lives are unique. Until now, we didn't discover any other planet that actually has developed life in the stage we are. We didn't discover any other humans. So I'm not sure about this, if it's going to happen, but for now, we are unique. We are only us. Just an example, that's how unique it is for each one. So what is in my shoes is so unique that it's just like in the shoes of the others. So if we're spiritualists, we don't judge, we welcome diversity. We know you are unique, but we also live in 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 a society. We live with each other. We reincarnate here on Earth, exactly because we need to live in this society, although we are diverse. Just got comments here. Thank you, Elsa. Yes, that's true, dear Juliana. Spirituous book says yes, exactly. And the first cover is spiritualists are all that believe we are spirits. Yes, exactly. We are the spirits. So what challenge the spiritual, what are the challenge for, the spiritists in the 21st century? And it's actually for everyone, So our contemporaneous challenge. Thanks, Helza. We must focus now in valuing life. That's right, Since early ages, help our children to understand that life goes on the eternal life, but man's existence. Well done. Well said, Elsa. Wise, your experience showed here. Yes, that is, Elsa talking to us. We are eternal beings, and we're going to, go through many existing lives, always with, the aim, the target to improve ourselves, But as we live in a planetary transition now, everything's happening much faster than usually were. We have some contemporaneous challenge that we have to deal with. Um, our world today is an addition of constant stimulus to disperse and alienate from what does really matter. And you know, it's being always like this. We always being kind of alienated by, I don't know, the power, the system, because it's important. You know, it's always this human thing for fighting to have power. You know, so as much as on their side, you know, more power they have, and so this is more, you know, complicated. I don't want to get on this because it's not. But you know, it's easy for it's good for us to realize we live in a system where people fight for power. You know, and it's important to keep alienated because then you don't fight for their power or something. You know, but this is the system we live in everywhere on earth. This is the man's way, you know. We're still evolving on that, and we're gonna get much better. We're gonna get to a stage we don't need to fight, you know, we don't feel this necessity for fighting for power. But it's good for us to realize that a lot of things are, you know, alienating us or getting us from the real focus. And the real focus is developing ourselves, it's improving ourselves morally, tackling selfishness. You know, we are at all time bombarded with news, images, videos, and multitude of appeals distracting our focus and attention, as I said. So yes, we are, you know, and you know, social media can it's playing a big part of this. You know, the news now is instant, you know, and we connect much more with our heart than our mind. But because there is always, you know, someone wants to, oh, I want to drag as much as people with the ideas I have. So you know, it's always, you know, power. And I'm not talking about power, you know, like big money or things. No, power is when you have a lot of people that makes do whatever you say. You know, you got power there. So we are bombarded in social media with this news, memes, and you know, everything. So we need to stop connecting by heart. We have to think a little bit. Why is this be showing to me? You know, because I really like the idea. This resonates with my heart. Remember, you need to also think, if this was showing to me, it was, you know, because they want to grab my attention for these things. Is this really important for my life, for my moral development, for my, you know, tackling my selfishness? You know, so then the other things is true, you know, before sharing, you make sure that, you know, this is actually true, because fake news, it's something big there. So we don't want to be sharing fake news, but that's different. So it, but you know, when you stop, wait, think, why this one's showing to me? Is this really important for, you know, what's my life goal is? And not talking about, you know, developing ourselves, being a better version of ourselves. You know, this helps you not, you know, live on this imaginary world where, you know, a lot of people, you need likes, you need this, you need, you know, that's a big challenge. You know, you don't need to feel like you need likes from everywhere or sharing, or you know, you don't need that, because this is not improving our lives. You know, so we get back to focus of improving ourselves. You know, we are losing precious time and energy on what's essential in our lives for that forever happy. Now we know social media, everyone takes a photo, but that's just the moment. That moment that we're really happy, and we think, oh, they're just showing off, they're just getting this one because they think they're happy. No, no one's constantly happy. That's something we have to say. No, we live on planet Earth. We're still in trials. Happiness is not for this world yet. As a spiritist, we know we are in transformation. We're going to a regeneration world where happiness is going to be, well, it's going to be less evil. So happiness is, it's a little bit better than this one. But right now, no one's constantly happy. That doesn't have. So we don't need to be, you know, with this pressure to show, to share that we are happy all the time, that we're doing everything. You know, we don't need this, but it's nice when we do, when we share it. You say, look how I like this. So we need to be understanding both of them. Again, why do we don't get this pressure? Because pressure of, oh, I have to be always happy, I have to be always this takes you from what's real the focus of your life, which is improving ourselves. So if you take this pressure from you, you're gonna focus on things that are much more important. The consumption cult of our society, again, is the system. Nothing wrong. Everywhere is like this on earth. There's the system. The consumption cult of our society transferred happiness to buying stuff. I think we are on that stage that right now we don't um, we don't um, we know that buying things doesn't give, it gives a moment of happiness. So again, if we recognize that, we change our focus to what's important. I'm gonna get here, Elsa. We must focus now. Yes, valuing life. This is really important. When we focus much on how I look like on social media, how I do this, you take focus from what's really important, valuing life. Since early ages help children to understand that life goes on in their life. Where is our treasure? It is our heart. We need to understand that we have choices, and reactions will come according to our choices. Exactly, action and reaction. And not blame Almighty Creator. Sorry, not writing much. No, don't be sorry. I like reading yours. You must go. Okay. No worries. It's gonna be, just listen later. Thank you very much, Elsa, for inputting your comments. It's always welcome. So, as I said, it's really easy. Let's gonna get blame God for that. It's really easy when something bad happened to us. We blame God. Oh God, why God is allowing all this suffering on earth? This is the most questions. And it's not God allowing the suffering exist on earth. It's because of the actions we took, the selfish actions we took. And sometimes you see someone suffers in this life. I met once, I didn't even met the Spiritism, but I was asked, but you have been through so much, so much. How can you not be angry because you've been so much? Your life was always suffering. Always suffering. Now we understand. At that time I didn't understand, but nowadays I understand, because it's not just this life, it's the many lives we have, the actions. Everything we do, every action we do, there's a reaction. And sometimes it's not going to be on that life that we're going to, or sometimes we want to come back to correct the action through suffering. So it's not God allowing us, it's us acting selfishness, and we need to restore it. It's just like the chaos of the universe. You think that's all chaos everywhere, but the way it works, the transformation goes around, and some disruption happens here, the universe, it's gonna the entire universe is gonna go and find your way back. That's the laws that govern. We The things is, we break a lot God's law, natural laws, the laws that run. So, and one of the ways we do to fix it is, it's coming back suffering again. It's our choice. Now, I'm not saying here that's always like this. I'm not talking about karma here. This is not exact. Karma is still a little bit limited. The concept of you coming back to fix is much more deeper than just suffering from from the previous life. It's much more that. So you need to read a little bit more, to study a little bit more to understand. So don't get me talking here simply. No, this is only a half an hour, 40 minutes uh, talk. So this is much more, lots more deeper to go. So anyway, coming back here, the consumption of our society transfer to happiness of buying stuff. Again, as we know, we buy stuff, but this is a moment of happiness. Just seconds later, we're not happy anymore because we bought, we receive it, we open the packet, sorry, and then oh, that's nice, lovely, and then yeah, that's it. This is moments of happiness. That's not true happiness. True happiness when we detach ourselves from the matter. Perfect spirits, they are constantly happy because they are completely detached from matter, which we are not at the moment 100%. We still have our body, which is matter. We still need them. So let's not gonna be in search of this forever happiness, because this is not gonna happen. We have moments of happiness. Let's gonna enjoy those moments, and let other people enjoy have their moments. Now, Spiritism is not a religion. So in the Spiritist Review, the journal from 1862, they ask, is Spiritism a religion? The Spiritists respond, no. Spiritism is not a religion and does not wish to be. Spiritism is based on the existence of an invisible world formed by incorporeal entities and populates this space, and who are just the souls of those who have lived on Earth or on other planets. And yeah, that's true. Sometimes we come from other planets as well. One of the, I don't remember where I read that, but Mozart, he actually reincarnates on Earth. He comes from, I don't know if it's Jupiter. And again, not life is not the life we have here. It's different. It's a little bit more evolved than us. But he reincarnated because he needed to do these trials, here. And we see that the geniusness of him, it's probably just something normal for Jupiter. So I don't want to get much in about lives in other planets, because that's not the. But it's just just to give a context. We do. Some people come here, or we're gonna go to other. It depends on if this is going to be for our development, our moral development. So, Spiritism is founded on general principles, independent of any dogmatic issue. It has moral consequences that are true with the respect to Christianity, but it has no cult, temples, or ministry. That's actually one of the things that I like about Spiritism, because cult or temples or going there and this, it doesn't work for me. I'm not this type of person. I'm not saying that this is not it's something bad. No, it's not. If it works for someone, it's good. Go ahead, do it. The important thing is not to get to fanaticism, not be blind. If you like to go to that cult or doing this, it's it's about you, not about what it's right or wrong. So, but in the Spiritism, that is, we drop the dogmatics, the cults, the rituals, or anything. We don't need this. There is no head of Spiritism. There is no, there is no, because we all individuals and we on our own path, building, our own, trying to make a better version of ourselves. No one here has the, it's going to be better than the others, should be in a hierarchy. You know, this is it's not. We in Spiritism we moved, and this is one of the things that I actually like about Spiritism. But we still respect Christianity. Jesus for us is the role model. You know, is the governor of planet Earth. You know, this is so Jesus is our role model. He is a perfect spirit, and of course, it's going to take a lot more reincarnations to get to the perfect spirit. But that's our goal. That's how we do it, you know. And in this, we cannot rush. There's no rushing. We have to go on our own path, on our own way, on our own time, making mistakes, going back again, forward, you know, 2 steps forward, one backwards, 2 forward, 1 backward. And it's gonna be, you know, throughout our existences, you know, many lives. But Jesus is our role model in spiritism. So Jesus and spiritism. In the religious aspect, however, his divine greatness rests as it constitutes the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ, establishing definitive renewal of man for greatness of his immense spiritual future. So what he's saying here, you know, what we focus it's on Jesus' messages, you know. So that's one of the things as well. We don't have like celebrations because we don't have rituals or cults or anything, you know, Christmas or Easter or things. They are not something we do celebrate. Not that we cannot, no, that's not. But it's not something because we focus on what Jesus in Jesus' teachings. That's the main thing. We focus on what the message he passed to us, you know. And where comes Allan Kardec? Allan Kardec, from Medianistics meetings, he asks a lot of those questions. You know, the gospel according to Spiritism is actually all the things that Jesus taught, explained by the higher spirits. You know, so that's why we focus only on that one. And of course, not saying everything else is not good. No, that's not. You know, but for us spiritists, this is important to keep in mind on, and that's one of the things I like. You know, this is what you know. My heart stays with this spiritism. So let's gonna talk just to wrap up spiritism and spiritism. So spiritism welcome the sufferer, suggests the way to moral development. As I said, you know, our goal is to be a better version of ourselves every time, as long as this takes, as much mistakes we have to make to, you know, to actually come back. However, the effort is done by the individual on their own internal transformation path. This is not something anyone can do for us. It's only us, between us, as I said, between us and God. You know, it's our individual path. And this makes you, you know, non-judgmental, you know, welcome diversity. Make sure because we recognize everyone's on the same way, different stages, different, you know, and it's as many stages as it can get. This is not just, you know, classification like of the species, you know, or anything. No, that's much more complex than that, you know, as a uniqueness. And we are all on the same way. We're gonna be perfect. That's the development. This is one of the laws. We as spirits can provide immediate assistance without judgment. And this is something we know. It's something that it's hard, you know, we judge. As I said, we judge. It's our instinct to judge. We see, we judge. But once we recognize that and we make our effort, you know, to not judge and provide assistance, whatever that is, you know, we are on the way of tackling selfishness from our own actions, you know, and this makes us improve from improve ourselves, building every time a better version of ourselves. So that's all I have to say today. I hope you enjoy. I'm just gonna give a little bit of the biography. I worked the posthumous work of Allan Kardec, second part, Spiritist Creed. Gospel according to the Spiritism, the Comforter. I should have translate that one because I think they don't. I'm not sure if they have this translated already, but is psychographic by Emmanuel, psychographic by Chico Xavier. The Spirit's book for the chapter 7 and chapter 1. And just to finalize, our activities are now on Facebook or on Facebook page or on the website. We have the public meeting every Sunday. This is the one today. And a talk show every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:15 p.m. The study group is through via Zoom at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And our email is spiritualsireland@gmail.com. If you want to be part of the Zoom meeting, just email spiritualsireland. So I hope you enjoy. I'm going to do the final prayer. Thank you, Amon, for. If you all want to sit comfortably, close your eyes, connect with the spiritual world. Now, let's ask this blessing, a blessing for today, this beautiful day we have in Ireland today. I hope it is. Well, yeah, Ireland. But blessing for this day, blessing for this week. Thank you everyone for being here. I hope the words were able to touch everyone as they touched me and taught as well myself. And so be it. Thank you very much for coming today. Let's see.